Hey guys, what's up? So our very first news video coming here again. These are the ones that are going to be posted on Wednesdays. Obviously, it's Wednesday, so I'm going to post it. It's the news again. If you weren't with us on Monday, posted a video about national sports. So that's how the schedule is going to go. Mondays will be national sports. Wednesdays will be news, and then Fridays we'll be doing one on some local sports, some Iowa sports. The local sports, when I say local, I guess I should say the K-Way listening area. And K-Way is a radio station that I work at, and Taylor from K-Way, you may know me, you may have heard me, I don't know, you should listen to me if you don't. I do news at K-Way. I also do play-by-play for high school sports and some college sports as well. But we're going to talk about local sports on Friday, but today is Wednesday. So we're going to talk about some news, and I'm going to say just before I get going, from here on out, the news probably I'll try to shy away from political stuff. Today I am going to start with a political one, but from here on out, I'm going to try and shy away. Now, I'm not saying that I won't talk about politics. I'm not going to say that in the future of these videos, politics won't be included, because they certainly will be, but I'm going to try not to focus on that, certainly on the news aspect. But today, it will be some politics as we talk about Betsy DeVos. If you don't know who Betsy DeVos is, she was recently confirmed as the Secretary of Education in President Trump's cabinet, and there are some people that are pretty not happy about it, and you know, count me in there. I'm not particularly thrilled about it. And I should also mention that I come from a very educational family, I guess, if you want to call it that. Both of my parents were teachers. My girlfriend works at a school now. In fact, for quite a long time, I thought that I was going to be a teacher. I thought that was where I wanted to go with my life. And I still, it holds a special spot in my heart, teaching and teachers. So the Secretary of Education kind of is important to me. And Betsy DeVos is a person who, first of all, has almost no experience with public schools whatsoever. And just saying the words, I'm just like, did those words come out of my mouth? That makes no sense. How did this happen? But Betsy DeVos comes from a very wealthy family, and a lot of people in her family, including herself, have made huge contributions to Republican campaigns and Donald Trump's campaign. And it appears, I don't want to say that this is the absolute, for sure the case, but it certainly appears that she sort of has bought her position. And that obviously is problematic for me, for sure, if that is indeed the case. But another controversy regarding Betsy DeVos is, the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, she has almost no public school experience whatsoever. And I just find it very hard to believe that you can be in charge of the department that's going to oversee public schools without ever being a superintendent at a public school, without being a principal, a teacher, a student even at a public school. I mean, it boggles my mind. And I just can't quite figure out how she was A, nominated for the position, and B, how she got confirmed. Now, the confirmation, ridiculously close. Could not have been closer. In fact, it was tied 50-50, and Vice President Pence had to come in and provide a tiebreaker, which, let me go on a little bit of an aside here. Why is it that the Vice President, who was part of the team that picked her to be a nominee for this position, why is it he that gets to decide a tie? Like, I get that's kind of part of the role of the Vice President, but why is that a thing? Like, why isn't it just, hey, guys, if this ends in a tie, then she passes? Like, why do we have to go through that extra step of, all right, Vice President, come on down. Here's your role. We've got a tie. Break it. Man, it's going to be so much drama. Nobody knows which way you're going to go. Oh, you're going to approve the person that you helped pick? Weird. Yeah, so that's, okay. So anyway, it comes down to a tiebreaker. Pence obviously confirms her, and so she's been confirmed. So it still boggles my mind how that happened. How did that happen? But and if you saw any of the the interviews where Congress people were able to interview her and see if she had the chops, which is also sort of weird because if Betsy DeVos, as I've already mentioned, is going to get confirmed, literally anybody, if you get put up to be in a cabinet, you can literally say anything, do anything, be anything, and you're gonna get confirmed. It appears from this confirmation, at least in my eyes. Again, this is just my opinion. And she, if you saw any of that, the interview or the questions that stick out in my mind are the ones that came from Mr. Franken, who I actually love. I think he's a great guy, and he asks her at one point about a very not difficult thing that if you're going to be the Secretary of Education, you should know or have a point of view on, and very basic, just what side do you come down on? She didn't even know that he had asked a question for her to come down on a side of. She thought that the options that he had given her were all one thing. And that amongst all the other things just boggles my mind how that happened. And you can hear more about this topic from me, from K-Way. I talked to Waverly Shell Rock Superintendent Ed Clamfith, who, by the way, is a great guy, and didn't need to talk to me, but took time out of his day to talk to me. And he puts his point of view out there, what his concerns are. Now, to his credit, he absolutely said, hey, let's, I don't know if she's going to be bad or good or anything or indifferent or anything. So it's hard for me to talk about it, but he did voice a couple concerns. So certainly listen into K-Way. Listen to the noon news, the one that I do tomorrow at noon, obviously. Also listen to the morning news that Carolyn Kennedy will have. She'll talk about it. It'll be in there. And then the evening news tomorrow. It may actually be in the evening news tonight, but tomorrow for sure with Ryan Fabro. We'll talk about it and get see what Mr. Clamfith has to say about it. And he's the superintendent of a public school, so I think it's an important point of view. But here's my question for you: what do you think about Betsy DeVos? I'm going to imagine you, as a lot of other people, are not going to be super stoked on it. But let me get your point of view. And what is it exactly about her that frustrates you or makes you question her abilities, or maybe you're into her? What is it about her that you're confident about, that you think she's going to be able to run be a fantastic Secretary of Education? What is it about her that you've seen that gives you confidence in her? Or just let me know. Again, you can find this on my Twitter over at Twitter at Taylor from Kway. That's my handle on Twitter. You can also find this video on YouTube, and Taylor Knits is where you would find that. Again, my last name Knits, spelled N as in Nancy, I-T-Z, and you can find it on Facebook. You can find it in all those areas. So drop me a comment. Let's get some conversation going about this. What do you think about Betsy DeVos and her appointment as the Secretary of Education? Leave a comment, any of those areas. Let's get this conversation going, man, and make sure you tune in to K-Way for not only the news, but also fantastic sports coverage as well, amongst many, many other things. So tune in over there. Again, I am Taylor from K-Way, and until next time, I am Taylor Knits.